Okay, I'm some hours late. Graveyard shift. That's why I'm so damn late. But we got the trailer for or a second trailer, an official trailer for Superman. If you're wondering why the background looks different, this is my gaming stream setup. But yeah, that's why the background's changed. But so we're gonna do a little reaction, talk about this trailer. I think I've seen a lot of the discourse about it so far. I really liked the first trailer. I didn't not the stuff that came out before, like the little TV spots and stuff, but the first teaser that we got, I believe in December. I really enjoyed that. Tonally, I thought that it hit. The music was nice. The suit has been kind of an up and down ride for me. But the last teaser, I really enjoyed, the look of the suit. I think what I'm hoping for in this trailer, I haven't watched it yet. I've been asleep all day. What I'm hoping for in this trailer is, again, to get a clearer idea of what the tone of this movie is going to be. I've mentioned before that James Gunn and his style is not really my cup of tea. So I'm hoping that with this we get a clearer look at what the tone of this movie is going to be. I think with Superman, there's a very specific tone that I'm looking for, that I think most people are looking for. I'm looking forward to seeing some more like dialogue too. The last teaser and a lot of the footage that we've gotten wasn't a lot of dialogue. Even with the 5-minute footage from CinemaCon, it wasn't crazy. It was mainly, those robots kind of going back and forth. So I'm hoping that we get some more dialogue that, again, kind of shows a little bit more of the tone of what this movie is going to be. I'm super excited for this movie. I'm really, I'm very, very skeptical about James Gunn doing Superman, but I'm optimistic, hopefully optimistic. And, I really want Superman to do good, man. So without further ado, let's get into this and we're going to see.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
Ooh, showcasing right off the bat.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might.
A lot of fire.
It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny?
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States.
I wasn't representing anybody except for me.
Around the world.
And doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
I like that. Ooh.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
There we go with that music again.
Your choices. Your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
have a dog?
I can't help it. I can't help it. You know, man, I think this is really good. I think this is really good. I really like the beginning of this trailer. I mentioned we wanted to see some. I wanted to see some dialogue. I think that this is so weird because you know I know that this isn't really supposed to be necessarily an origin story. Superman has kind of been around. I don't know how long. I forgot how long they said, or if they said at all. He's still new to the game, but it's not like we're seeing, you know, his entire origin like a lot of the other iterations did. So I find it really interesting that the trailer opens up with Lois knowing that Clark is Superman already. Um, so maybe they've been dating for a while, or they've been a thing, or been friends for a while. Uh, I'm interested to see where the timeline starts here. But that I find this to be very interesting. Lois, I mean, if you are at all a Superman fan, you know Lois and her style of reporting. She is a very aggressive reporter, always going for the truth, no matter the cost. And I think that it's shown here, that trait, you know, and I really like that um you know, even though they have their history or their chemistry together or whatever the case may be, you know, even though they may have got their history or their chemistry here, she's asking him very straightforward questions, very reporter specific questions, you know, that I mean, she would if she didn't know who Superman was. And questions that the people are no doubt asking. So she's, you know, and I feel like if you're a good journalist, if you're a good reporter, that is kind of one of your goals, right? You want to speak for the people, you know, because you may not feel like anybody else is doing it. Um, and so I love that, this tension, you know, that, you know, and Clark kind of starting to feel attacked. You know, he said this is how you're gonna be, you know. That this is a very early interview between Lois and Superman. There will probably be an end interview somewhere towards the end of the movie, maybe right before he goes to really save the world, right before the big end of the movie, where it'll go better and we'll be able to see Superman's kind of maybe maturity, or maybe he's found his place, you know. Um, but I thought that that was interesting that he's kind of having this very emotional response to the way that Lois is asking these questions. But I think this is an early interview. I really like that. I really, really like that. Let's kind of play. You can see him like he's starting off kind of, you know, like, sure, let's do this. And he, I don't know, maybe he thought she was going to be lighthearted. Maybe he thought she wasn't going to ask the real questions, but I love to see that she is. It feels very, Clark's figuring things out. You know, he's still figuring things out. He's figuring out what it means to be Superman, to the people, to himself, learning how to that. Okay, I do want to mention that too. That, but also what Superman looks like, you know, in his portrayal and this this presentation form of himself, if you will, you know, and I like that. I like seeing that. Now, this though, I will say I do kind of, like I said, I've been back and forth with this suit. I have been very back and forth with this suit. Sometimes I think it looks great. Sometimes I think it doesn't. And I really like the colors. I like how vibrant it is. I like how classic Superman it is. I do love the Kingdom Come logo. I just, especially in this shot, I just feel like he looks like a freaking rectangle, you know? Like it just, you know what I mean? Like it just is very flat, very, you know, non-defined, you know, and it's just, I don't know, it just, it makes him look like a giant rectangle with a head, you know? But some shots, it looks really good, you know? I think a lot of the issue is the upper torso area, you know, the arms look fine, you know, everything else looks fine. I really like the boots, you know, but just that torso area, it just looks really just, you know, boxed in. But yeah, you can see him getting kind of irritated and whatnot. I really love this, and I think I'm gonna really like his legs. I think I'm really gonna like his legs. I mentioned it in the first trailer breakdown that I had kind of a hunch that Nicholas Hoult would probably do somewhat of a Michael Rosenbaum type of Lex Luthor from the CW Smallville series, and I think you can kind of see that this calm, collected, kind of menacing, cool guy type of vibe, you know. Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite Lex. James Gunn has said that he's his favorite Lex and that he thinks that Michael Rosenbaum was the best Lex. So I definitely can see there's probably some inspiration there. So that's cool. I like that kind of mentality on Lex Luthor. Um, yeah, I see stuff like that, like him get like Clark has things he needs to learn. He definitely has some things that he needs to figure out and calm himself down a bit. I love that shot. I still love that shot. This is gonna be fun. I like the eyes up here, you know. Superman getting his ass whooped, you know, wouldn't be Superman if he didn't get his ass whooped at some point. Um I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. I'm excited for David Cornsweet to be our new Superman. You know, I think that this movie has a really good shot at doing some really good things, you know, and really establishing our new Superman. You know, I think, you know, as long as I didn't get a lot of comedy vibes in this trailer, and I like that. I like that. You know, they're the, you know, let's go Cronkite, you know, and I mean, but Superman is quirky. He's corny, you know. Superman is he's that way, you know, and I feel like if it's kept at that level, it'll be just fine, you know. Not to overdo any of the comedy bits that may or may not be in this movie. Um, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited. We got a few days short of 2 months to go, you know, and I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. There's a lot of competition in July with Fantastic Four and the new Jurassic World movie coming out. So we're gonna have to see, and the people will speak with their wallets, and we'll see how the box office turns out. But I think that this movie has a really good shot at being a really good setup for the rest of the DCU. And if this movie is great, then I can see my excitement for Supergirl just skyrocketing because that movie is looking to be really good, especially with the rumors of this retcon of what the Kryptonians are going to be or who they were, you know. But I think that this is an awesome trailer. Bottom line, you know, all things aside, I think that this was a really good trailer. It hits the tone. I'm probably gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again. Yeah, but you know, I am optimistic for this turnout to see how this movie plays out. You know, I think James Gunn is a very competent writer, producer, director. You know, I think he does good. You know, I don't think he's talentless. There's things about him and his style that I don't like. I didn't like the Suicide Squad. Guardians of the Galaxy was fine. Not my favorite franchise, but I can't deny talent, man. That third one especially, that was a great movie. So I think that James Gunn is very competent. I think that he can do it if he gets out of his own way. And so I'm excited to see him do that. I'm really excited to see him do that. And I am excited to see this movie, man. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this trailer. Hit that like button if you did stay to the end of this video. I appreciate you for coming through. So thank you. Subscribe to the channel so that you stay updated on future videos that come out. I got a few planned for this week. So, you know, you don't want to miss that. But I appreciate you guys. I'm out of here. Y'all stay smooth. I appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Y'all stay smooth and stay geeked up.